Here's why it's problematic to tell somebody that their depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in their brain. That's not what the evidence shows us. In fact, the evidence shows us that a genetic component only accounts for 30%. And I'm not talking 30% of the people, 30% of the risk. And that number might sound big enough to be convincing, but let me give you some context. How tall you are is 90% genetic. So that only leaves 10% to be influenced by the environment you grew up in, the activities, the nutrition you had. So coming back to that 30%, it means that 70% of what leads to depression is caused by something other than genetic predisposition. So things like your social connections, the experiences that you've had in your life, your environment, the coping skills you did or didn't learn. And that 30% gets even more vague when we understand how our genes work. Just because you have a genetic predisposition to something doesn't mean you're going to get it. Our genes are expressed based on our environment and on our experiences. So when you tell someone that their depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in their brain, you are only addressing a very small percentage of what goes into what makes somebody depressed. And even if there is a genetic predisposition, again, that part of our genes typically only gets expressed when ignited by some kind of really stressful or traumatic event. And if all we do is hand them something to treat the chemical imbalance part, you are leaving them to ignore this other huge part of contributing factors for their depression. And it leaves them feeling stuck and never fully healed. And this is why taking a neuroscience approach to anxiety or depression is so powerful. Understanding how our mind and body work, that our brains, based on neuroplasticity, evolve every single day that we're alive based on the thoughts that we think, the experiences that we have, the way that we're able to regulate our nervous system. And the truth is that your story of depression or anxiety is as unique as you are. Simply putting some label of a chemical imbalance on you is, first of all, untrue, and most importantly, it's unhelpful in helping you heal. To learn more about a neuroscience approach to anxiety or depression, like and follow here, or tap that little icon. I teach a lot over on my Instagram as well.